Hello and good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Slows Wrestling Show, your source for all things wrestling and sports entertainment. Live from Palm Harbor, Florida. Coming up, AEW All Out match card and my predictions. Could Edge make a WWE comeback return? NXT superstars not clamoring to make main roster jump. Jon Moxley pulls out of the AEW All Out event. AEW TNT airing announcement. Thoughts and aftermath of the Carnival Deathmatch Spectacular, and more on the Slows Wrestling Show. Welcome back to the Slows Wrestling Show, your source for all things wrestling and sports entertainment. Now here's the AEW All Out match card. AEW World Heavyweight Title match, Chris Jericho versus Hangman Adam Page. AAA World Tag Team Titles ladder match, the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers. Kenny Omega versus Pac replacing the injured Jon Moxley. Cody Rhodes versus Shawn Spears with Tully Blanchard. Joey Janela versus Jimmy Havoc versus Darby Allin. The Best Friends versus the Dark Order. Winners receive a first round bye in the AEW World Tag Team Titles tournament. Rio versus Hayuki Shida. The buy-in pre-show casino battle royal. Brandy Rhodes, Ali, Yuka Sasaki, Britt Baker, Nyla Rose, Jazz Ivelisse, Teal Piper, Big Swole, Sadie Gibbs, and 11 other participants. Winner earns a shot at the inaugural AEW Women's title. The buy-in pre-show, Jack Evans and Angelico versus Private Party. AEW All Out will air live on Saturday, August 31st at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Now I'd like to talk about WWE Hall of Famer Edge. Edge is in incredible shape. Like, what I've seen on Instagram and how he looks now, I honestly think he could make one more return to the wrestling ring if WWE decides to clear him and doctors decide to say it's okay for him to come back. I could obviously see him returning for one more run, and who I would want him to face would be Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship if he still has it down the road and further on in the next couple months, because that would be an amazing dream match to see. That would be a one-of-a-kind dream match that everybody would want to see, and it would be very, very exciting, and it would pull a lot of people into the WWE audience and possibly a pay-per-view if they hold this match at a pay-per-view. So we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. I honestly think it will happen, but we're gonna have to wait and see. Now, according to Ringside News, NXT superstars are not clamoring to make the main roster jump. And why I think NXT superstars do not want to move up to Raw and SmackDown Live is because they know they're not going to get proper pushes, they're not going to get proper angles or storylines, and they know that their talent is going to be partially wasted. So that's why they're staying on NXT. And I think NXT is I honestly think NXT is so successful right now because they have people like Keith Lee, Johnny Gargano, Matt Riddle, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, just to name a few. And I believe NXT is ready to go face-to-face with AEW in a ratings battle on Wednesday nights. And I believe this show is very entertaining the most right now because of how they played out NXT TakeOver Toronto 2. And that pay-per-view was amazing. The main event match was great. If you haven't watched NXT TakeOver Toronto 2, you have to go watch it now because it's a spectacular display of wrestling, and it was an awesome event. So I highly recommend checking that out. According to Bleacher Report, Jon Moxley pulled out of the AEW All Out event due to an elbow infection and will have surgery to remove a bursa sac. So this kind of stuff happens, but it sucks. It really, really sucks to see people pull out of events because of an injury. And I absolutely love Moxley's will and passion to want to keep the interest of wrestling fans, even after him pulling out of the event. Because I saw on Twitter he was really upset about pulling out of the event and having to do that. But he still encouraged people to watch this show, which is a great thing because he's still pulling for people to check out AEW so that they get more viewership for All Out. And I think All Out's going to be a great show. I believe this is why AEW has a chance to win over fans and gain popularity. And I think All Out will have success depending on how all the matches turn out to be tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to seeing Pac and Kenny Omega go at it, man. I have not seen Pac wrestle in so freaking long since he left WWE. That's how long I haven't seen him perform, and I'm really excited to see him perform again. Now, according to Variety, AEW will air on TNT Wednesday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, with NXT moving over to USA Network. So I am excited to watch AEW on TNT and NXT on USA Network, and this will make wrestling much more exciting than just watching it on one channel in particular, because now we have the option to flip between TNT and USA Network. And I believe the people that would be the face of AEW would be Kenny Omega, Jon Moxley, Shawn Spears, and Cody Rhodes. And the people that I think will be the face of NXT will be Velveteen Dream, Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, and Matt Riddle in this TV war. So I am really looking forward to the fall and really looking forward to watching these programs. Now I'd like to talk about the Carnival Deathmatch Spectacular event I went to commentate. So basically, this event was insane because my friends all brought weapons. They had fluorescent light bulb tubes, tables, thumbtacks, barbed wire, and one of my friends had a what's it called? He had a stapler. So they were using a bunch of weapons in these extreme matches. And my friend AJ Fax, man, he was impressive. Because when he competed in the triple threat match against Slim and El Polo Loco, he was hit with a lot. He was hit with a lot of moves and high impact fatalities. And he was just kicking out of everything. So props to him for that. And my favorite match I enjoyed the most was that triple threat hardcore match between my friends AJ Fax, Slim, and El Polo Loco. And the damage my friends all endured in the matches were insane. My friend Slim took a full golf swing to the back with a fluorescent light bulb tube. And you can just see when he crawls underneath the bottom rope, his back just bleeding profusely. And my friend Chris, he took some damage as well. He got speared into the corner into fluorescent light bulb tubes from my friend Flying Brian Kaiser, who competed in the main event against my friend Chris Livingott. And I was really impressed with all these matches and how people came into these matches, because they had no idea what the outcome was going to be or if they were going to be able to handle the pressure and the pain to endure in these matches. And that's what really caught my eye. And I if you want to watch the triple threat, you can watch it on my YouTube channel, Slows HQ TV. The triple threat is there along with my commentary, so go check that out. Now here's a quick announcement. September 29th is Tampa Bay Pro Wrestling's Battle of the Bay, which will take place at the Big Top Convention Center in Building F. I will be there on color commentary for the event, so come out if you're a big wrestling fan, because you're not going to want to miss this exciting event. I will take a break, but when we come back, I will talk about the WWE King of the Ring tournament, New Japan Pro Wrestling results, Bray Wyatt could receive a Universal Title shot, Kaiju Big Battle announcement, my thank you to John Cena, NXT moving to USA Network, and more on the Slows Wrestling Show. Now here's the updated King of the Ring tournament bracket and my thoughts on it. So in the first round for Monday Night Raw, it was Cesaro, Samoa Joe, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Cedric Alexander, Sami Zayn, The Miz, and Baron Corbin on Monday Night Raw. Now it's down to Samoa Joe, Ricochet, Cedric Alexander, and Baron Corbin. On SmackDown Live, it started out with Kevin Owens, Elias, Ali, Buddy Murphy, Chad Gable, Shelton Benjamin, Apollo Crews, and Andrade. Now it's down to Elias, Mustafa Ali, Chad Gable, and Andrade. So I honestly thought The Miz would advance to the next round on Monday Night Raw because he's a high impact wrestler. He and he's good at grappling and sneak attacks inside the wrestling ring. And honestly, it looked like he was gonna come out and win, but then Baron Corbin turned things around and delivered the deep six and end of days to advance to the next round to face Cedric Alexander. And I look forward to seeing Samoa Joe and Ricochet face each other in the King of the Ring tournament the most, because these men have faced each other outside of WWE before, and they know each other very well. And who I want to win the King of the Ring tournament is obviously Ricochet, because he's a high-risk, high-flying Impact wrestler, and he knows how to maneuver inside and outside the ring. And I think he has the highest chance of being King of the Ring for 2019. And people who I know who've been King of the Ring in the past are Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, Booker T, Billy Gunn, Wade Barrett, and Sheamus. Those are the people that have seen become King of the Ring in the past. And I'm looking forward to see what else happens next week on Raw and SmackDown Live for the King of the Ring. Now here's the New Japan Pro Wrestling Super J Cup 2019 Tag 3 results. Super J Cup 2019 semifinal match. Dragon Lee defeats Caristico. Super J Cup 2019 semifinal match. El Phantasmo defeats Will Ospreay. Singles match. Alex Colin defeats Shota Umino. Singles match. Jonathan Gresham defeats Clark Connors by referee's decision. El Soberano Jr. defeats Ren Narita. Juice Robinson defeats Carl Fredericks. 8-man tag team match. Amazing Red, Jushin Thunder Liger, Raizuki Taguchi, and TJP defeat Chaos, Robbie Eagles, Rocky Romero, Sho, and Yo. Tag team match. Bullet Club, Jay White and Taiji Ishimori defeat Los Ingoladores, GD Japan, Bushi, and Tetsuya Naito. Super J Cup final match. El Phantasmo defeats Dragon Lee. According to Ringside News, Bray Wyatt could be getting a Universal title shot sooner than we think. So I think it will either come down to Bray Wyatt facing Seth Rollins or Braun Strowman, depending on who wins the match at Clash of Champions. And I think it's time for WWE to push Braun and give him the Universal Championship and keep it ongoing, because if they don't, they are wasting his talent, and they should just give opportunity to somebody else, and then Braun Strowman should drop his WWE contract and leave and go to AEW or New Japan. And it has to happen. It has to happen like soon. They have to give Braun Strowman a push, or else they're just like not doing anything with him. Now I would like to talk about something that I never thought in a million years would happen to me as a wrestling fan and as a person who has so much passion for sports entertainment. So a week ago, I was watching YouTube, just sitting at home on my phone, when suddenly I got a Twitter notification saying that John Cena followed me. At first, I didn't really believe it. I thought it was a fake account until I looked further into the account. And what came next for me personally was just shock and amazement that my idol John Cena, the 13-time WWE champion, followed my podcast Twitter page. And I have grown up with John Cena ever since I was like 13, 14 years old, watching him perform on Raw and SmackDown back in the day. And he helped me get through some difficult moments in my life, because I kept hearing the words "never give up" and listening to his motivational speeches. And John Cena, if you have been listening to my podcast and are listening right now, I just want to say thank you very much, because you don't know how much this means to me. You've honestly made me the best of myself and taught me to never quit on anything, no matter what happens. And you're the big reason I love sports entertainment and want to be a wrestling commentator. And this, again, thank you very, very much. And I hope one day I can meet you in person, because without you and everybody's support on this podcast and this show, I would not be at this level in my life. So thank you very much. Now, if you're an NXT fan, NXT is moving to USA Network starting September 18th. So this is huge for everybody on the NXT roster because now they really get to show people what they are capable of and what they can do in these shows. And I can't wait to be able to flip between TNT and USA Network when the fall starts, because this opens many choices to wrestling fans, because now we have the option, as I said earlier, to go through both channels and just watch any part of the shows we want. So I'm really pumped. I am ready. It's going to be awesome. Let's get started with that because it's going to be great. That's going to do it for this week's episode. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at ShowSlows and follow the Slows Wrestling Show Facebook page, as well as subscribe to my YouTube channel, Slows HQ TV, to see all of my wrestling content. From Palm Harbor, Florida, I'm Alex Slows saying goodbye for now. Have a good evening, everybody.